everybody. It's our July Technique Talk, first Tuesday of the month. Hey Lois, as you're popping on, say hello. Hey Janice. Barbara. Howdy, howdy. How's everybody doing? It's a pretty nice day today, wasn't it? I didn't go out that much, but it seems nice out now. So, we're going to start in a minute, but this is what we're going to talk about. The new Spritz. Who's got them? Anybody have them? Anybody? Are you there? Bueller? You've got them, Barbara? Okay. Well, these are the first 12 colors that came out, of course. You've got 4. Janice has 4. All right. I just bought the bundle that Scrappy Chic put together. I know that we are out of them at the store, but they already are on order, so we should be restocked soon. But these are the first 12 colors that have been released. Walnut Stain, Twisted Citron, Peeled Paint, Spice Marmalade, Wilted Violet, Peacock Feathers, Barn Door, Fossilized Amber, my favorite Uncharted Mariner, Worn Lipstick, Weathered Wood, and Picked Raspberry. All right. So those are the first ones. I've been playing around with them a little bit. I just want to kind of show you some differences and some things, like what they look like on just plain paper and what they look like over the same or a similar color of ink. And then these are oxides, so I'll just kind of show you what the oxides look like too. So I'm going to give, this is Walnut Stain ink, and I am using the Distress Watercolor cardstock, the smooth side, and I'm doing that because, you know, these are wet, so that watercolor paper takes wet mediums very well, and so does the heavy stock. So anyway, I did a little inking of some Walnut Stain. I'm gonna try not to spray my things I have prepped over here, so that I could show you what it looks like sprayed over and then what it looks like sprayed on just regular white paper. And I will do my best to try to make it visible on the camera. All right. I haven't used this Walnut Stain yet, so let me get it prepped. All right. So I'm just going to do a spritz, a single spritz, a little bit more, and then the same thing on the white. Whoa. All right, and I will hold it up in a minute. Now, it looks a lot darker when it goes on, but it does dry lighter. And of course, if I had other paper here, I would just sop that up, but you can see, I'll hold this up where those drips. So you can see over the Walnut Stain. Gotta let it dry before you can see the shimmer. Hold on a second. It doesn't start to shimmer until it's dry. Give me 1 second. I have my other heat, my quiet heat tool packed in my bag from Mixed Media this weekend. So you can see, let's see, you can see this is just like a light spritz. This is a heavier spritz. And I will try to get it in the light so you can see the shimmer there. Can you see that? So I'm watching my computer as I try to show you this too. Plus there's a delay, so sorry. But you can see how it really accents the inked side, and then this is what it looks like just on white paper. Also shimmery. And just so you can see the difference. All right. Now I also did, this has got Twisted Citron and Uncharted Mariner and Broken China. And I am just going to spritz the, let's do the Peacock Feathers is probably the closest to Broken China. Hey, Renee. All right, so I probably should have spent some time shaking all these before I started. I haven't used them all yet, so all right. So what I am going to do is just do some spritz like that over my stencil, and this is one of the layers to the layered Michigan and Great Lakes stencil. And so you can see where it's wet there. Won't start shimmering till it dries. So give me a second. Oh, my heat tool, my embossing heat tool is about to go kaplooey. It smells a little like it's burning. All right, let's see. Let's see if I can, I'm gonna stand up so I can see what you guys are seeing here. All right, there. See how that shimmers on the blue? You can see that it coordinates with the colors, but it gives you that nice shimmery. And then if you were to put it on the green, oops, oop, where'd I put it? And do the same, this is what it would look like. And it's actually, this Spritz sprays really nicely in stencils, I found. If you don't spray too much, it doesn't go under and seep under. All right. And then that's what it looks like on the green, but the shimmer is just very, let's see, oh, there it is, very pretty. See that? Okay. Let's just dab some of that off. Now you can see that they're not as dark as the inks when you put them on white paper, but when it dries, you really do, and you can see the shimmer over here from what's on my mat. It definitely shimmers on the white paper, but the color isn't as vibrant as doing it over the top of ink. Now, the spritzes have the pigment in it, so it's not clear, right? That's what makes them a little bit different, is the pigment that's mixed with the mica, or the mica that's mixed to make the color, I guess, if I'm explaining it correctly. There's a bunch of different colors of mica that are blended together to make that combination to match the distress colors. Let me get my word, use my words, right? Okay, so this one is just some blending that I did with some of the different colors, and I'm just going to spray the various colors on here so you can kind of see what it does. Okay, so here's with no spritz. All right, it's just ink. You can see the light doesn't catch any shimmer or anything, but I'm gonna put some blue there and where there's blue here, and then I am going to use I really was not very prepared with shaking these things, sorry. right, let's see what we got here. This is the fossilized amber over the yellow. This is the picked raspberry that I'm going to use over the pink. And the twisted citron here over the green. All right. Mary, are you asking to see it on dark paper? I think I have a piece of black I can grab. Very close by. Seeing it on the camera really doesn't do it justice, because just as I'm drying this with my heat tool, you can just see the sparkle. It's gorgeous. All right, so I showed it to you before the shimmer. It didn't catch any light, but look at it now. Look at that. And it blends a little bit, so it helps the ink blends, distress is water reactive. So just because it's a liquid, it'll react a little bit, but it just makes a gorgeous blend, doesn't it? And even if you do something like this is where I smooshed the ink and added water and then just, kind of dabbed it in like that. You can still even spray these to give yourself a little shimmer, a little shimmery shake. And it's just gorgeous. Really is a good shimmer. Well, it still allows you to have a little bit of that white space because the color isn't as, it's there. The color is definitely there, but it's not as strong as when you ink it. All right, so take a peek at that. It's still a little bit wet too, but you can just, this fossilized amber is just gorgeous. So you can really zhuzh up your ink blends. All right, here's a black piece of paper. Mary wanted to see what it looked like on dark colors. Let's take a little peek. There's the pink. And there's the twisted citron. That's not even dry yet. Wait till it dries. Oh. Hey, Mary, I'm not sure. That was a special thing that Renee had, that bundle. She's definitely going to get all the colors in, but I'm not sure that Scrappy Sheet's going to have bundles, but they'll definitely have all the colors. For sure. They're all, every single one of them is beautiful. All right, so look at that. Look at that twisted citron. Woo. And that's picked raspberry. Gorgeous. Gorgios. Mary was also asking about a piece of chipboard, wasn't she? Let's see. You've got to think I have a chipboard around here somewhere. Let's just see. Shake while you talk, Michelle. Shake while you talk. This is a broken one. It's not really ear Santa. It's dear Santa. Oh, that made me laugh. Okay. This is barn door on craft. Look at that. That's still wet, but you can see the sparkle. Ooh, Ooh, it just moves around and shimmers. Oops. And that is on the chipboard without putting any ink down. So it takes color nicely on the chipboard and shines and shimmers. All right, one more thing I wanted to show you was on oxides. Okay, this is fossilized amber, and that is twisted citron. All right, so I'm going to look at the chat for a second while I shake this. Okay. Oh yeah, Barbara, I bet it looks really nicely on die cuts. Mary's asking, can you spray it again to darken the color? Yes, once it dries, you can absolutely put another coat on it, for sure. All right, fossilized amber on the oxide, and the twisted citron, which I might not have shaken it very well, before it dries has a lot of gold in it, and gold in the mica to get that citron-y color. But once it dries into that nice green. Now, even if it's dry on the surface, it still has to dry a little, you know, it does absorb a little bit into the paper, and that's, don't mind that smoke. Okay, see that on the twisted citron, when you get it to catch the light, it makes that beautiful green. So it's not all the way dry yet, but, and then that's the fossilized amber. Now this is on oxides. That'll give you some really deep color, because with the oxides and that blend of pigment and dye ink, you get more saturated color, right? So, ask me some questions. I'll try not to tell you any lies. Here's another layer of the barn door on the chipboard Mary was asking about. Whoops, sorry, I'm moving around. Spraying a second coat, yes. Yes, you certainly can. Now, I also made a bunch of these kinds of samples, and they're at the store, so you can definitely take a look at some of these already sprayed. Here it is on the black. And on the chip, that barn door is going to be a beautiful Christmas color. All right. Does anybody have any questions? Did I miss anything? Mary asked, do the colors blend? Yes, when they're wet, they do blend. If you spray a color over a color if a color is dry, and, well, why don't I show you? If a color is dry and you spray over it, it isn't going to blend, it's going to spray over. But when it's wet, yes, it will blend. See this? So you can see the gold over the red, or sorry, the fossilized amber over the red. It's not going to blend. They're going to sit on top of each other. If you spray them while they're wet, they are definitely going to blend, and you're going to get barn door and fossilized amber making a lovely orangey red. Kind of like crackling campfire. Anybody else? Any questions? Well, I've got all these out, and the paper, all the kinds of paper out. And if you spray it and leave it kind of runny like that, it does dry a little darker around the edges, just like the regular distress sprays do as well. So you can get that little grungy distress look that I love. Looks kind of like fire, doesn't it? All right. If you don't have any questions, I am going to just remind you that we do have the spritzes on reorder, so we should be getting them back in stock soon. So keep your eyes peeled. And if you're in the store, take a look at some of the samples that were done with the spritzes. I used the Michigan and the Great Lakes layered stencil with the spritzes to kind of show you how that looks over ink. So yeah, they are, Barbara. They're even prettier in person because they really do sparkle. It's hard to really get the true sparkle on camera, but I just love how this looks here over the dipped inks. Gorgeous, gorgeous. And yeah, and even on the oh my gosh, the oxides, sprays too. You could use them on sprays. I watched most of Tim's video, and there was one thing that didn't really work well, and I think it was the crayons. I think it was the crayons and maybe the paint. But but the spritzes work really nicely with the watercolor pencils, all the other sprays and inks. So another great thing to add to your distress collection. All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining. We'll see you next month. 3rd, 4th. It's August 5th, I think, is the first Tuesday of August. Don't forget, on August 3rd, we have our Echo Park Christmas card class coming up. And we'll have a Spellbinders one coming up after that in September. So watch the calendar, watch our Facebook page, watch all the stuff. All right, everybody, thank you. Have a great Tuesday.